Do you love to hot foil and stencil but want to change things up a bit? Well, why not try mask stencil hot foiling to create one layer panel cards without having to die cut your background? Today I'm showing you just how easy it is with 3 cards using Fab Foils from Embossing Powder. I'm Verity and welcome to my channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button below to keep up to date with my videos on the channel. Now for the cards, I'm using clear acetate to create my mask for stenciling, as it's durable and reusable, but you could just use thick cardstock if you prefer. To make the mask, use shaped dies to die cut a window out of the piece of acetate. I trimmed my acetate down to the same size as a card panel, making it easy to line up with my card panel later on. I used a circle, a square and a rounded stitched rectangle for my mask windows. So for the first card, I'm using the Tiny Bubbles stencil by New along with craft card. Using washi tape, I adhere the stencil to the card panel and then adhered the circle mask over the top of the stencil. For added foil dimension, I'm using Decal Foil transfer gel and applying this through the mask and stencil with a palette knife. Once completely covered, I removed the mask and stencil to reveal the pattern beneath, which of course is the fun part. Make sure you clean your stencil, mask and palette knife straight away to prevent the gel from drying on them, or put in a bowl of warm water. I repeated these steps for the other 2 cards, and I used a grey card panel along with the rounded stitched rectangle mask and used a tribal chevron pattern stencil from Kezia Art. I just love the look of this when you remove the stencil and the mask. For the last card, I used the New Spring Garden stencil and a square mask to create more of a framed foiled area. So the card panels need to dry and were left for a couple of hours until the gel had gone from white to clear. When the gel is clear, it shows it's ready to foil. So before foiling the panels, I wanted to add some colour to the masked areas. The gel will resist the ink and it allows you to ink blend over the top. Therefore, I repositioned my mask back over the panels to add some more colour. So for the Spring Garden card, I used the Garden Party Green by Catherine Pooler along with some blending brushes to add a vibrant green background. For the Circular Bubbles card, I used Over Coffee ink by Catherine Pooler. My mask slipped slightly whilst I was adding the ink, and I used a smaller brush to add in the ink around the edges to fill in that gap. However, when I removed the mask, there is still a small mistake visible, and I do go on to correct this later, which you'll see further on in the video. For the last card, I used the Twilight ink over the stencil area as I was going for a more masculine look to this card and thought it would pair well. So to add the foil, you need to trim the foil down so it covers the gelled areas. You want to place this over your card panel where the gel area is located and put it in the carrier sheet with the colour side of the foil facing upwards. Next, run this through your ink machine or laminator, and I used heat setting 3 for these cards on my ink machine. For the Spring Garden card, I used the Spearmint Fab Foil colour, as this pairs really well with the green background. It's a gorgeous green in real life. For the craft card, I used Rose Gold Fab Foil and thought this really blended well and paired well with the brown tones of the craft card and the colour of the ink. And for the last card, for my grey card, I used the Bright Silver Fab Foil, and it pops really well against these dark grungier colours. I just love how it shines in the light. So to fix my mistake with the circle card, I just die cut the panel out again and foam mounted it onto another craft card panel. All the card panels were foam mounted onto white card bases with an 1/8 of an inch border all around. I added stacked die cut sentiments to all of the cards. So for the craft card, I added a stacked die cut MFT Happy Birthday to the front and used my T ruler to ensure that I lined up all my letters in a nice straight line. For the grey card, I used a stacked die cut Celebrate sentiment from Little Inca Designs along with a small heat embossed sentiment strip. This small sentiment is from Alt New Celebrate stamp set, and of course I heat embossed it in opaque bright white powder from Embossing Powder, as this white really pops. For the green card, I used a stacked die cut Thanks from Little Inca Designs along with another heat embossed sentiment strip. This time the sentiment comes from the Ultra New Leaf Canopy stamp set. The cards were finished off with a selection of Nouveau drops in apple green, silver lining and white gloss, and I went to town a little bit on the craft card because I wanted the Nouveau drops to pair in with the bubble stencil within the actual masked area. Masked stenciled foiling adds such a beautiful, elegant and sophisticated texture to your backgrounds without overtaking the panel. The combination of coloured foils, inks, stencils along with different shaped marks mean you could create many different cards with just this one technique. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below which is your favourite card out of the three. This card was produced as part of my design teamwork for Wow Embossing Powder, and you still have time to enter this month's Facebook challenge on foils, so make sure you head over to the group to enter. For 10% discount at both the UK and US Wow shop, just enter the discount code on screen. Please subscribe to my channel by hitting that button along with the bell icon to be notified when my next video is up. For more crafty inspiration, check out this video here. Until next time, happy crafting!